Hey guys, I'm Sosha.
I'm Toby.
And we are OTS. Today we were on quite the search. Do we have a story for you? You can't make it up. Okay. Getting myself together here. All right, so for any of you guys that have been watching any of our videos, you may or may not have seen little, I don't even know what you call it, Black Kitty debuts. Good, come say hi to Toby. It's a good girl. Come on. Let's go say, oh, you gonna say hi to him? She ends up in our videos. And she's been coming around our house for, we figure, approximately 6 to 8 months, and that's probably very conservative. She's been living outside, and between us and our neighbors, we've been kind of feeding her. Not kind of, we feed her every single day. And we could tell that she had worms, and we saw a little injury on her back hip where there was like a little puncture, and it looked like there was a little bit of a black spot going on around that puncture. And we decided at that point, we have our cat Jack, but we wanted to take her in. Oh, and they're actually here. I'll sway it around so you guys can see. We're excited about, actually he's pretty mad. He's mad at me too. There's Black Kitty, and she's got the lanai, and then she's in the office right now. We have to keep them separated. Jack, will you look at everybody? Yeah, I know. He's not real pleased with this, but doesn't understand. He's got like a pretty girlfriend. Anyways, so this is us trying to get them acclimated very, very slowly. Okay, so basically, once the injury happened, we pretty much had made up our mind that we were going to at least get her treated and kind of go from there. And we have always been animal lovers. We have owned collectively animals, even when we came. Toby's owned
Lots of animals.
Like?
Birds, saltwater reef aquarium, hamsters when the kids were young.
Squirrel?
Runs the gamut. I did adopt a squirrel and raised it and let it back into the wild.
Zippy.
Dogs, cats, yeah, all my life.
Yes, and fish were a big one. You had a beautiful aquarium with lots of coral and, you know, so, but needless to say, and I've had a couple of cats along the way. So, okay, so we haven't actually had a pet together in our over 10 years. We brought pets to our relationship together, but Black Kitty is our first kitty together. So fast forward to today, or actually let's go back a couple of days. We got her inside because she would come to me. She would let me pick her up, which was pretty unusual. But so we got her inside the lanai, set up the office. She's been there for 2 nights. And we reached out to our friend who works for a vet and just asked her, what do we do? We don't know what to do. And she said, take her to the vet on Monday. So we called today. It's Labor Day. We called today, and they're available to get her in this morning. So we pack her up in the car and take her. At this point, our biggest concern is the feline leukemia and feline AIDS.
Right.
So,
and the reason for keeping her separate from Jack, just in case she was positive, that was the first hurdle, was to make sure that she wasn't positive with the disease that could spread to our cat. So we've kept them separate up to this point.
Yes. So when we take her in, They're able to test, and if you didn't know, because we didn't, the test results come back in like 8 to 10 minutes. So she did amazingly well. Putting her in the carrier, she meowed the whole way, which, but she did amazingly well.
At the vet, she did real well.
So we had her tested. She came back negative for both. And we were so excited for that to happen. But they said, do you know if because we knew she had worms, but do you know she could be pregnant? And we're like, oh my gosh, what do we do?
That's a good time.
Yeah. Not a party.
We weren't expecting that.
Not a party.
Not at all.
So we're like, oh no.
Curveball number 1.
Nope. First curveball.
Yeah.
Yes. So we have the doctor come in. They can do the shots once we find out that she's negative. And they do the shots. They say they don't think that she's pregnant, but to keep an eye out. And in the next month, we would know, basically. She'd be having kittens or looking like she was about to have kittens.
And they didn't want to give her the... what was it?
Distemper.
Feline distemper shot, because if she were pregnant, then the kittens could be affected by that. So she got the rabies shot and I think one other booster.
Yeah, she had a few shots today, I think, and a worm pill. And she went through all of it like a champ.
Yeah, she was surprisingly good.
It was amazing.
Which leads to the next curveball number 2.
So we were talking with the vet tech, and we were like, can you believe this cat? She is absolutely, for being a stray, this is amazing. And he was like, it really is amazing. Have you guys thought about checking if she's chipped? And we're like, no.
Sure, why not?
Not at all, but, we're here, we might as well. And I'm like, there's no way that she's chipped, and I would have put money on it. And he scans her.
And she's chipped.
She's chipped.
So we've been feeding her at least 6 to 8 months. In between our house, she's here morning, noon, and night. She lays out on the stepping stones in the sun, and she has basically spent that time. She would go away at night thinking that she must have a hidey hole that's safe because she's made it this long. We do have some animals that come through here, and there are some animals in Southwest Florida that are pretty dangerous. We do have panthers, we do have coyotes, but she's stayed safe. So we always assumed she had a good spot to hide at night. And, she would go away at night. When it got dark, she was gone. She knew to hide. But we never for a second thought that she could possibly, be somebody's cat.
Ever.
So
then we're like, wow, well, what do you even do with this information? So they were able to give us the chip number, and we were able to look it up, and Toby was able to put in the information to fill out basically like a form to let him know.
A found form.
A found
cat.
Okay. So he does that, and very quickly, in short order.
It was with AKC, and yeah, within, I wouldn't even say 10 minutes, I had a lady call me back, and they were on it.
Yep.
We weren't even back from the vet yet.
Yeah,
so.
I'm still driving home. And so they basically let us know that they received the form, and that they had the information to reach out to the owner on record. And so they let us know that they're going to reach out to him, and they will get back to us. Well, within like a minute, I think he was getting another phone call, and it was the gal to say that she had left a message. It was a woman on record, but the message that she was able, that when she called, the message that she got was a gentleman's voice. Yeah. And so she left a message, and then she would just let us know. So we kind of gave him the whole background, and then maybe within 30 minutes, I'd say, the gal that runs the program,
a shelter down here called, and she is the one that originally adopted Black Kitty out to a lady. So the owner of that business, or I don't know,
Yeah, it's
president, she was in charge
a
of
program
the
of
business.
sorts.
She reached out to the person that she adopted out this cat to, and got the same thing. There was no answer. It was a male voicemail. And the guy actually had picked up and said, "This is a new number, and I don't have any idea who this woman is." So long and the short of it, we were pretty much unable to get in touch with the original owner of the cat.
The phone number was no longer hers. And after a pretty good conversation with that lady Toby had, she said basically that there was, she had records, so we were able to find out some history on Black Kitty. She's older than what we thought.
Yeah, she's almost 4.
She's almost 4. We thought that she was like less than a year old because, she showed up. But it did make sense. Some of those pieces started to come together because she wasn't like a baby kitten when we saw her. She just looked like she was...
She is a little smaller than your average cat, so we thought she might be younger. But come to find out, she's a little bit older than we thought.
Yep.
The pregnancy scare is a non-issue, thankfully, because she is spayed. They spayed her before they adopted her out, so that was a blessing to hear.
That was huge.
Yeah, because we really didn't know what to do at that point.
And she's spayed, which was, additional money. And, of course, this stuff probably, there's never really a great time for these things to happen. But, we're at the vet and we're like, we have literally picked up somebody else's cat.
And got them their annual shots and made sure they were healthy and got the fleas taken care of because Sosha ordered flea medicine. Was delivered yesterday morning. We got her initial flea treatment started as soon as we brought her in the house. And so, yeah, really come to find out, taking care of somebody else's cat. Kind of a strange deal.
Yes. And you can't make this up.
And we were already, honestly, at that point, we're already at least $400 deep in things we bought for the cat to set her up in the office by herself and, the shots and the this and the that. So just kind of scratching our head as far as how did we end up here?
a little disheartening almost, it's like, so after speaking with this lady, she was the one that had made the decision with the previous owner, and the previous owner never filed a missing complaint form, never let anybody know. She was adopted. Black Kitty was adopted from a shelter, so she wasn't supposed to be an outdoor kitty. Like, there are a lot of things that go into this. So she said, I believe that it would be, in the cat's best interest for you to take her. So
because it had been so long. If it had been a week where she was outside, then she could have escaped and gotten out without, the owner could have been on vacation and a pet sitter let her out, and that's why the cat is out. But after, and again, 6 to 8 months is a conservative estimate. It's probably more like 10 months. I don't think it's a year, but
I don't think
it's a long time.
I don't think she was out for the hurricanes, and that's kind of what I gauge it on. Which our last hurricane was in October, but we had 3 of them. Which I think the first one was in September.
So we're probably
going on.
I think we're good at 8 months. I think we're pretty solid on 8 months.
Yes. But so really, we are excited to announce that we are going to keep Black Kitty. And we're trying to come up with a name for her. So the vet tech that we talked to, we told him, we weren't sure what we were going to name her. We haven't really wanted to at this point. We were, that's the next level of attachment. And we were.
And if she had leukemia or feline AIDS, then we were probably going to give her to a no-kill shelter, we were going to have to figure that out from there. But the thought was that she needs to be in a better position than just living outside. And in Florida, it's really hot out. There's a lot of bugs. You could see her scratching and licking all the time. And she was not in a good place. And that wasn't going to get any better. So Agreed. We decided to, one way or another, we were going to make sure that she was taken care of.
And specifically to say, as far as, not that either one of us would be opposed to keeping an animal that had tested positive for the leukemia or the feline AIDS, but because we have a kitty cat here, we couldn't expose them. So that would be the main reason, and that was a big scare for us. You know, what happens if she comes back positive? So, you know, and she didn't. She came back negative, and you know, all of this craziness. We are able to keep her. The vet tech had suggested either Nova, which we thought was pretty,
Cool,
yeah, or licorice, because black licorice, and that's pretty freaking cute.
pretty good.
Yeah, that was cute.
It's hard on a nickname, but it's cool.
Yeah. So, but you know, we've got a couple of names we're kicking around. My favorite is Jemmy, because it's really fun to look at rocks and, you know, and you realize that you've got a mineral and you're like, ooh, that looks so gemmy. And, you know, I don't know. So, and I think it's cute, and I think that could be a really nice fit for her. But Tobe is a little bit...
Not so convinced.
He's not so... He thinks Jem from the 80s, Jem and the Holograms, which that's with a J, not with a G. So, you know, and there's nothing wrong with Jem and the Holograms. I mean, I am a...
No, I just would like something that goes with the black. So we were thinking obsidian or onyx, or, so you know, Sid, I can't help but that.
Sid with obsidian. Onyx would just be onyx. You know, I don't know. We've given this a little bit of thought, but we want your input. So I think this has been a pretty good dissertation of what has happened to us today.
Been an interesting day.
Yes, very. So we're going to get off of here, but we would absolutely love to hear your guys' suggestions.
Yes, please.
And we will definitely let you know with your comments. We will reply to you. So thank you for listening to us. And I am working at some point. We just got back from Michigan. So there will be videos from us rock hounding in Michigan next. Okay? Bye.